Hi everyone, welcome to Little Wicket Railway. I'm Rob, and in this video we're visiting the Bromsgrove Society of Model Engineers. Situated within the beautiful grounds of the Avonscroft Open Air Museum is where you'll find the Bromsgrove Society of Model Engineers and their impressive railways. Here's Clive to explain more about the society, the railway and the type of things they get up to.
Hello, my name is Clive Wilson. I'm one of the committee members for the Bromsgrove Society of Model Engineers. We set up in the 1980s as a collection of like-minded modellers in the South Birmingham area originally. Eventually we got a permanent ground in Avonscroft Museum. It's their land, and we originally had an oval at which the station has always been in its current location. Around about 2000 we were offered the lower field, which enabled us to more than double the length of the track. The interesting thing from an operational perspective is that with the extended track there is a 5-foot difference between the bottom of the site down by Avonscroft's windmill and the top of the site by our access bridge. So as I say, that does present a bit of a challenge, particularly in wet weather, because steel wheels on aluminium rails can lose a bit of grip, but the advantage of aluminium is it's much smoother and quieter. We maintain the grounds ourselves, and we have the benefit of it's a relatively self-contained site, so we don't have the pressures that a vast majority of like-minded model engineering clubs have, and that is that they operate in a public park and have more rigid conditions and are open or semi-open to the public whilst the park itself is open. We do all the site development ourselves, although now with increasing age we sometimes get some of the heavy elements done by outside contractors, but we've recently extended the station so it can accommodate 2 trains, which is useful not only in sunny weather but also if you've got inclement weather you can take some refuge, and the train and its passengers can be under cover until the weather subsides. We've also increased the steaming bay area as well. This is the area where we prepare locomotives both prior to running and finishing. Obviously the steam locos take more work, but it's only relatively about 10 minutes to get them started, unlike the full-size ones. We run our own locomotives for our own interest, as well as the club owns several battery electric diesel locomotives, 2 of which are in use today. We do public running days as part of our commitments to Avonscroft Museum, and also they have a wedding venue, and often the wedding couple like to have the children entertained for part of the day, so they come and hire the track for an hour or 2 hours, and we've got a dedicated crew that pretties up the station and the trains and makes the wedding party and guests very welcome. We also now are regular for a smaller gauge, what's known as the Rob Roy Rally, which is for a small 1/16 scale side tank engine. It was a fairly basic design for initial modelers to hone their skills before going on to bigger and better things, but that has now become quite a regular feature. Our central location and close to the motorway network makes it ideal for travellers from all over the country to come to us. Everybody has different interests and everybody comes from different walk of life. Some obviously come from a machine shop background and therefore have the established inherent skills. Others, like myself, come from a white or grey collared background and are self-taught or have learnt from shared experiences with our fellow members and develop our skills so that we can do what's necessary to build a locomotive from basic raw materials. We don't only just build model locomotives, although that is the principal interest. Others have built farm machinery, road locomotives such as traction engines and steam rollers, and also there's a small model boat contingent, but primarily the interest is in model railway locomotives. The passenger carriages you see are to a design that one of our members conceived, and it won a bronze medal at a Model Engineers exhibition because of its innovation, and everything was done on a unitarised basis so that it's fairly standard to maintain, and these are excellent free riding vehicles. The only thing is they are quite heavy, but we have got a mechanical lift, so we don't have to do all the heavy manual stuff ourselves. It's just the click of a button, and the little hydraulic pump lifts the passenger cars out of the carriage sidings and places them onto the track. So you can operate at a personal level on a one person basis, but obviously on a running day like today we need a crew of about 6 to 8 people, so that you've got drivers, guards, station staff, just to marshal passengers safely and ensure that everybody enjoys themselves safely and has a thoroughly enjoyable time. We do have a Facebook page and we have a website, so we are relatively easily contactable. We're fairly good at responding to requests on Facebook and emails to any inquiries.
And obviously, I had to take a ride around the layout myself. The way the rails are arranged on the elevated tracks mean that they can accommodate 2.5 inch, 3.5 inch and 5 inch gauges, but today I was behind a 5 inch gauge Class 50 named Victorious in BR Blue. The tracks run for 1/4 mile in a large bow tie shaped loop. After leaving the station and receiving permission from semaphore signal number 1, the train moves past the steaming bay area with the rolling stock lift. Here you can start to sense the gradient drop away as the line curves round into the lower field, descending at 1 in 80 in the steepest places. Around the flowing corners and passing the children's play area, you pass under trees and circle back around some industrial equipment, which really adds to the atmosphere. If you want to see an unedited video of the route from the Loco Cam, then you can find that on my second channel LWR2. And if you head over there, please do subscribe, as I'm very close to the magic 1000 subscriber count and would really appreciate your support. Here we're beginning the long straight climb back up to the top of the site. The gradient is 1 in 100, and I can imagine how steam locomotives need to be well driven in order to get up here without stalling or slipping when pulling loaded coaches, especially if the rails are wet. Approaching the top of the site, we pass under the access road bridge, which is a fun feature. As you exit and begin the run back to the station, the track runs alongside the smaller gauge layouts, which are over on the left hand side. The railway is split into blocks and fully track circuited, with 7 automated signals spaced along the route, with semaphores on the approach and the exit to the station, and coloured light signals elsewhere. The complete loop takes around 3 minutes. Tickets for the railway cost me £1 at the time of filming, and all that money goes to support the activities of the society. Unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of action on the 16mm Garden Railway or the Gauge 1 track when I was there, but they're nice large layouts and I can imagine they're a lot of fun to run on. The Garden Railway also has some lovely scenery and features. In this video, I only wanted to focus on the Engineering Society railways, but the Avencroft Museum has loads more to offer, from historic telephone boxes complete with their own telephone exchange, to historic buildings with interactive exhibits. There is more than enough for a full day out here with the family. I was visiting with my friend and his family, so I asked Orla and Milo for their thoughts on the railway and the museum.
It was good. It was very fun. It was quite fun. I didn't know how long the track was because it went to some places where you couldn't see from the station. There were some bits that were faster than others, but it went a reasonable speed. There was a place like quite far over there, and I didn't, as I said earlier, I didn't know that the train went to there, so I liked it over there. I think it's good value for money. Yeah, me too. It's got some very nice buildings. I liked the tour of the windmill, and there was a barn, and it told you how some of the things works, like how people thrashed the wheat, and I thought that was quite interesting. Well, I think the telephone kiosk was interesting, and it was fun because I got to call Ethan and Milo. We learnt how a windmill works and how to thrash wheat. Yeah.
So it was definitely a thumbs up from Orla and Milo. How about a score out of 10?
8. I think I'll give it an 8.5.
And there we go, that's about it for this video. A massive thank you to the team at the Bromsgrove Society of Model Engineers for making me feel so welcome and taking the time to talk and show me around. It's a lovely club, very friendly and full of lots of clever people. I'll definitely be back for a future open day. If you want to plan a visit, then I'll put links to the Society and the Avencroft Museum in the video description. Thanks to Gareth, Ethan, Milo and Orla for inviting me along with them. Special thanks to all the YouTube members and patrons for your support, it's very much appreciated. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully see you again soon.